Welcome to the TheGeeksAttic. Guys, you should be live, I think. I'm hitting the play button on here. It doesn't look like I'm getting a feed. Maybe I am. I just don't have it showing up on my little monitor here. There we go. All right. Shows that I'm live now. Paulie, there he is. How's it going, buddy? Hopefully you can hear me well. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me? Hopefully I don't have too big of a lag going on. My phone right here is what I'm using. The computer's over there. Don't know what microphone I'm going to. But guys, I'm gonna move some stuff. Hey Jeffrey. Hey Rob. I'm gonna move some of the Canon stuff around because I got a couple new books here. And I thought I'm gonna film the process. I got some junk up here that I don't really care for, but the wife wanted some stuff. So it's like, oh, put it on display. Like anybody's here to look at the display. Little howling wolf or bear thing going. I don't know. Little bobblehead of some dude that we got this at a Japanese restaurant. It does say made in Japan, so that's legit. That works. Some little shoes there, Dutch Holland shoes that my sister brought back from Holland. She was actually born there, so fitting. It's all the crap. Okay. Well, minus old Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Got to move him off to the side to make some room. Small time. Hey there. How's it going? Hey guys. Remember tonight we're doing paper movies over on the Paper Movies Book Club channel at 11:15 p.m. The late one. So sorry if you guys can't make that one, but we had to do it this time. One of the guys has to work a little bit later than usual. I don't have like that much space. But basically, what I need to do is move. Oh, hey, yeah, my brother-in-law brought this little vase back from China. He went right before the virus shut everything down. So maybe he brought it back to the U.S. No, but down here, this is the Canon shelf, as you can see, maybe. I've got a couple paperbacks. We've got this one in paperback. You're probably wondering why I picked this up in paperback. Well, it has a short story in it. And I told myself, I'm going to read that short story. And it's been 2-3 months. I haven't read the short story. I've got a couple of these, which Star Raptor, if you're familiar with him, sent me one of these. I believe this is the one he sent me when he went to a Star Wars Celebration a year ago. I got the Del Rey 2017 free sampler and the 2016 free sampler. These have short stories in them. Del Rey stopped doing the short stories, so and not all of them are collected in these free samplers, which would have been awesome. They were in the Insider magazine, and they quit doing that. Kind of a bummer, but kind of a good thing too, because it's so hard keeping up with all this stuff. It used to be a pain in the rear. Organizing a bookshelf is fun, but it's also a pain in the rear. I've said that 2 or 3 times already. Stuff's heavy, and you got to move it around, and it keeps wanting to fall over. And I hate some of these books are not the same size. Like the junior novels or YA novels are different sizes than the adult novels. So things look funny sometimes. It would be nice if they would just keep. That's why with my Legends Expanded Universe bookshelf, which is just right next to it, I have paperback because I wanted everything to be kept the same. You know what I mean? So down here, I've got everything in chronological order for the Canon. I'm going to move stuff down because what I do have to put on the shelf, I've got 3 books here, which you saw. We've got Star Wars Dark Legends. I don't even know if this is a YA or a junior book. It's really, really small, little horror stories for the kids. Pretty cool. And then we've got Thrawn Ascendancy, Chaos Rising, adult novel. And this one is definitely a YA book. Well, or maybe even a junior. It's really, really big print and small space. Well, you know what I mean. Maybe. I don't know how to say that, what I'm trying to say out there. But yeah. So I've got to put this thing on, which this is a little annoying, okay? Because you got your adult novel and this junior thing. Cool that it's like, oh, it's like a full-size adult novel. No, it's actually wider, so it's going to stick out on the shelf in a funny manner, and it's a little bit shorter. So it's going to stick out and it's going to be shorter. That's annoying. Why can't you just make it a full-size book? Same with their the Dooku Jedi Lost situation, which, if you remember, that was the audio drama that they printed in a hardcover. This is too narrow, too short. This way. Why do they do that? Just keep a standard size. I know the junior stuff likes to mix it up and like, oh, well, maybe little kid hands, but why would the little kid hands need to be wider than this? Rob D, the video being mirrored makes the books look like mangas. Oh man, so it's flipping everything around. That sucks. Tell you what. Tell me if this looks better when I hit this button. Oh look, guitars, more guitars, and then me. Is that good? I see my computer down here shows a little delay. Is this good? Is this better? Maybe I need to get down to tab. Now I can't see myself, so I don't know if I'm going to go off a frame or not. I'll just stand here. And you got this really tiny book. So all of these, except this one's going to stay towards the end. I don't know exactly what order this is going to go into, but I'm going to guess the last one because, I mean, why not? It has there's some of the stories take place during the sequel trilogy, so yeah, we'll put the Dark Legends at the last book, I guess, until I can figure out exactly what it is, and then shuffle it 2 or 3 books inside. But yeah, I need to put Thrawn down, Bone Wars down, and do a little shuffle. This is gonna suck, maybe. That's 2 books, so I need to move 2 books, maybe. We'll see. Those are thicker books. Here's a book that slipped through the cracks. I got this one late. Star Wars Aliens, Tales from a Galaxy Far, Far Away, Volume 1. I don't think they ever came out with a Volume 2, but it's like a YA book. And it came out during the Journey to the Force Awakens. It's got the larger print on the inside. Kind of a cool size, like when it's this thick. Fun reading. Yeah, I haven't read this one yet. I don't know that I will. To that point where I don't want to read anything except the adult novels and the YA novels. I don't want to do the junior stuff. This one was a little different. I read a couple of these stories, which I know I need to do another video talking about this more and the Clone Wars novel or Clone Wars stories. We're going to try that. This one's annoying on the shelf too. I mean, this is a really cool looking book. I didn't read this one yet either. Star Wars Myths and Fables, written by George Mann. Looks really cool. He also wrote this one. So now I've got to make sure everything can stay in the spot. Which that's why I keep these paperbacks of these Del Rey free samplers here as a bookend. I need to get something a little bit more legit because I don't like how it leans, but I need something heavy. Ugh. That'll work, I guess. I'm going to shift down Poe Dameron and Free Fall, Canto Bight, Phasma, Bloodline, Last Shot, Lost Stars. Still probably my favorite of the Star Wars canon stuff. I see on my computer here that you guys are talking. That's better. Good, better. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, thanks there, quality. Is a great book. Ukdu Tulsa. Yeah, Jedi Lost backwards. Okay, so I'm just going to shift all this stuff. Ew, the Aftermath trilogy. I don't know if I want to touch it. You got sanitizer. Oh. Shadowfall, good book. Alphabet Squadron, I didn't like it. And of course, we've got Return of the Jedi. This was fun hunting down. I like those covers a lot. I wanted to get them in hardcover, for sure. The one that I had problems with was A New Hope. The first copy I got, it said that it had the dust jacket. It did not have the dust jacket. So, yeah, and I came across these a lot in the used bookstore that I go to, but they were always in really poor condition. So, good eBay finds. Glad that finally worked out. Oh, yeah, here we go. Star Wars from a Certain Point of View. Was not a fan of this book. I can't remember what I did in my review with it. I think I was like, oh, it's okay. It's not okay. I like the cover minus like all the authors on the side. Obviously, that's like my logo color there, but it even almost looks like the logo there. It's the Death Star. Not looking forward to the one for Empire Strikes Back. I'm not going to read it. We got the Rogue One novelization by Alexander Freed. Good one. I enjoyed that one a lot. And the Solo. I might have taken too many books out for this. But what's the next one? We have the High Republic, so having a little extra space up on the top will be fine. Rebel Rising. That looks like that might squeeze too tight. See, this is a book. I don't even know. What do you guys tell me? Tell me, please tell me. Should I take this? You know what? Don't tell me. I'm taking this one off the shelf. This is a little kid's book. It's goofy font. Don't need it on the shelf. That's a kid's book. These I'll keep on the shelf. These junior novels. We got Lando's Luck, and then Pirate's Price. One of these, I think Pirate's Price. I don't think I finished that one. I don't think that was a very good one. Let's see what you guys are saying over here. Small Time, Chuck Wendig's Afterbirth. Yeah, good one. We got Rob D. And use those tongs when touching Queen's Shadow and Queen's Peril. Oh, ugh. Why do you have to remind me? Ugh, gag. Throw up. Quality Autism. The original novelizations apparently aren't even part of the Disney canon. Yeah, they did like a rewrite of those, I guess, before I even thought about collecting like all of them. But they were Disney Lucasfilm Press, and I think they changed a lot of the stuff that was in those books. They were cool looking design. They looked a lot like the like this size of from a certain point of view. They had a red one, a green one, and a blue one, like the book itself, but had the black dust jacket. I never picked those up because I've already got the ones that matter. I'm not going to put 2 copies of a book on here. I say that. Anyway. Rob D, he's talking to Quality Autism here. So I think read on Wikipedia that Disney released revised versions of the original. Yeah, that fit continuity. What? I guess their continuity. The special editions that they're putting up on Disney Plus, I guess. I think Quality Autism. I think Ryder Wyndham wrote new YA novelizations, which are full canon for some reason. YA novel. I know. What's his name? Joe Schreiber, I believe he did the novelizations for Force Awakens and the last one, Rise of Skywalker, which I still haven't purchased on Blu-ray or digital, but whatever. So I can't move Rebel Rising very far. Yeah, what did I do? Just one. I took away one little book and moved. I want to do something else here. I want to put this back up. Pirate's Price is going back up. Scooting this back down. Man, I freak out. I think I'm going to like make this thing collapse. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Aftermath again. People ask, why do you still have your Aftermath trilogy? Because I don't want to touch it. I want to pull it off the shelf, sell it to somebody else for their. That'd be sad. That'd be cruel. Terrorism right there. Hey, read this book. We're all victims. Okay, Rebel Rising, Guardians of the Wills. I don't even know if I should keep this one on the shelf either. Cool art, though. You see that? I mean, I did read this one. Would it be fair to keep this one on there and take out the Chewbacca one? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. This one made like the news, like people were talking about, like, oh yeah, Guardian of the Wills. It's about the Guardians of the Wills. Who ever talked about the mighty Chewbacca in the Forest of Fear? Did anybody talk about this one? This is from the best-selling author of Origami Yoda series. So, could be a good book. It could be. It might be a fun read to the kids. Oh, these are the same size. Nice. Look at that. Would you look at that? Same size. What do you guys think? What do you guys tell me? What should I do? Shriver did Solo. Thank you, Paulie. Of course, you give that to a horror author. Rob D, the Aftermath trilogy already infected that whole bookshelf, so no point removing it now. Call the Autism says, question mark. What? What do you mean, question mark? Should I keep these on the bookshelf? I don't even remember where this one goes now. This one really didn't have a great story. It was like, I wanted to know about what the Guardians did. This did not clarify that. They just saved like a bunch of school kids or orphans or something like that. It wasn't very good. Maybe I'll take that off too. It's from Greg Rucka. I think he does a lot of comic stuff. I'm taking both of those off. I don't want to have junior novels on here anymore. Well, that would mean these would have to go, but these are. Yeah. I'm keeping this is this horrible book too. Cobalt Squadron. Ugh. I remember listening to the audiobook on that one too, and the actress that plays Rose did the narration, and man, I think she was drugged up on something or just absolutely hated that job. Nobody said anything. No one's telling me if I should keep those books or not, but it doesn't matter. I'm not. Put them in the kids' room, in their closet. Okay. Here we got Thrawn, Treason, Thrawn Alliances, A New Dawn, which is the first book that came out for the new canon, written by John Jackson Miller. The back of it. I guess this one's really hard to find now. I guess a lot of the early ones were hard to find, are hard to find now. But like I was telling, I can't remember if I said it in a video or not. I was telling somebody, it might have been in the comments or something, that they're looking for hardcover stuff, and that the last time I was in Barnes & Noble, they had hardcovers still of a lot of these Aftermath books. They have the hardcover of Alphabet Squadron, Solo, what else? A couple of other things. They still had copies in hard. Phasma, Canto Bight, Last Shot. All these newer ones from The Last Jedi forward are still there. People don't want them. I was surprised at how many of the Alphabet Squadron books were still at the last Barnes Noble that I went to, because a lot of people did like that one, I think. So I think a lot of people were hesitant. Well, no, people didn't like Alphabet Squadron. So I guess people actually do watch reviews and say, well, I guess I'm not picking that book up then. But Shadowfall, that one was good. I really did enjoy that. I think Alexander Freed redeemed himself with that one. Of course, I do really like Alexander Freed, especially his Rogue One novelization, and Twilight Company. See, a lot of the top shelf books are pretty good. I enjoy them. Calling out says, remember when YA books were good? No, I never read any of the. I'm assuming you're talking about the Legends stuff. I never got those. I have some of the Young Jedi Knights books, but I don't have all of them. I don't think I'm going to collect them all. You see how slow I am at reading these books. The Approaching Storm, that's what I need to read now, actually, but I'm not. After reading Star Wars, I'm like, I got to take a breath. I know that with the Paper Movies Book Club, I do that, but also I don't know if I want to jump on that right now. I'll have another book here that I was going to show you that I'm actually reading and I'm enjoying it. Okay, what are you guys doing? Wolfgang Blaze, you seem not to enjoy much of the new canon. Why do you torture yourself? Good question. I do like some of the stuff, which, you know what? How about before I continue, I go ahead and finish these comments and then answer your question with showing you what I do like versus what I hate. That's a good one. Alphabet Squadron sounds like someone making fun of Disney Star Wars. It does. I remember when they put that out there, people were like, is this a serious title? It is kind of stupid. But I understand the humor behind it, like, oh, it's an A-Wing, B-Wing, and X-Wing. Just don't. Do something different. T Motors. I would keep the junior novels on there, but I could see why you'd take them off. Just joined, by the way. Thank you. Welcome. Yeah, I know I probably should keep them on there, but I don't know. I kind of get burned out of some of this stuff, and maybe I'll put them back on the shelf later on at another time. I got a box in the attic that I'll put them in, or like I said, in the kids' room. Rob D. Alphabet Squadron is required. Or is Alphabet Squadron required read for Shadowfall, or can it be skipped? Well, there is some stuff that leads into it. I guess if you can watch my review, which I think my review on that one was pretty lazy because I was not into it at all. But for the Shadowfall, I did a full chapter by chapter overview. I enjoyed it. You just know that the main character, like, basically defected from the Empire and goes through a training type camp. I don't know what the proper word would be, but it's like, all the Imperials need to go over to this camp, and then she got out of it and got into the rebellion and helped out with that. You could skip it. You could try it. I mean, listen to the audiobook. You don't have to pay for it. Get it from the library. Okay, Rob D is Alphabet Squadron. Okay, you already read that one. Obsidian 53B. Ever consider having the Star Wars art books? I actually do. I have, for all the new canon stuff, I have like the art of, all of the new films that came out, except I don't have the art of for The Force Awakens, but I have all the other books. They are really cool. I'll give it that. They are very cool. And I have a lot of the what are they called now? DK books that do like the cross sections and all that stuff. I've got all of those too, or not all, but most of them, all for the new canon. And I only have them because it's like, hey, can I have that for a review? And it's like, here you go. Those are fun to look through. I do enjoy those even now. Hey, Mad, what's up? Mad Chad, he's in. So, okay, I said I was going to go ahead and show you what I like. Let me put these up first. There's only 2 books. Okay, we've got Thrawn, Most Wanted, Catalyst, Lord. There's still way too much space up here for this. Attack of the Clones. That's where I need to go because we've got Thrawn. Comes right after Attack of the Clones, according to Canon Timeline. Clone Wars, which that would be after Attack of the Clones, and for some reason, Disney, Lucasfilm Press, and Del Rey will not put out a combined timeline. Now, that's really annoying. Why can't you just, hey, we're both Star Wars. We're both publishing books to the same story overall. Let's have a combined timeline. They won't do it. So some of these YA novels is like a guessing game because with Lost Stars, it starts before episode 4, I believe, and goes all the way through up to The Force Awakens. So, it's like, well, I can put it anywhere between, I guess. Right. But anyway, I was going to put that next to Thrawn. It sticks out. That sucks. Now I've got space. So I guess I'll push these back down. Some put some of these books back. I can't stand it. I can't stand having a big gap like that. That'll be fine. Look at that. One book. One more book. And done. Okay, there we go. That's weird. Okay, yeah, I took out a couple books. I'm like, wait a second. Why do I have more space, more books on this shelf? See what you guys are saying, then I'll jump into it. Colonialism. They never included the YA stuff in these lists, which sucks. Okay, so now that I've got it fixed with all the new stuff up there, what do I like and can't stand? Let's see, who is that asked that question again? Wolfgang Blaze. Dooku Jedi Lost. That was cool. I like it. It added some good lore to Star Wars, to the prequel series, to a lot of the Sith stuff that the Jedi Temple was hiding underneath the temple. Master and Apprentice. I like that book. I remember it had a part in it that I was kind of like iffy on. I was like, oh gosh, what are we doing with this story? And then it picked up, and I was happy. Episode 1, Phantom Menace. I did actually read that novelization. I have not reviewed it, and I probably won't. I probably will eventually. But I enjoyed it. I did. I think that's one, it's by Terry Brooks. I think people have mixed feelings on that one. Queen's Peril, just touched it. That was bad. That was so bad. Queen's Peril, horrible. Barf in my mouth, and then swallow it, horrible. Queen's Shadow, just as bad. Well, a little less bad because it doesn't have bloody periods all over the place. And just stupid things. It's just stupid. We got Anakin saying, I really like flying. Then it skips to something else. Like, you have to know the events of episode 1. Like, you have to be like us nerds that know everything about episode 1, like how it all folds out and what everything that's going on, to understand things from the Queen's Peril to have it line up to be exact. Because if you're like, oh, I'm going to read Queen's Peril, well, did you see episode 1? Yeah, I saw it once. Clueless. So Queen's Peril, horrible. Anakin, I like flying. A couple paragraphs later, I really like flying. Ugh. We have Attack of the Clones novelization. Haven't read it yet. Thrawn, because when I get to the novelizations, I'll get to those when I get to them in expanded universe territory. So I gotta make sure I line myself up here again because I moved the camera. And then we've got what did I say? Thrawn Ascendancy. Okay, I enjoyed that a lot. I just released the spoiler-free review. I do have a chapter-by-chapter overview and review coming together, like one really long. It's like 50 minutes, and there is a little error in it where I say something twice. I forgot to cut it out. Deal with it. I really like that. It also had one of those parts where I kind of like, oh man, this is kind of boring. I'm kind of done with Star Wars. And then I reflected on the whole, the state of the fandom and how people just irritate you and piss you off because you like that and you're an idiot. It's like, just shut up. Let people like what they want. People do what they want. That's what just pisses me off about the fandom. It's like people can do what they want and enjoy the things that they want. They don't like it, then just go away. Just hit the thumbs down button and go away. But anyway, I like Thrawn. Stories of Light and Dark. I listened to I read the first story inside of it. Listened to the second one in audio book. It is just novelizations of select episodes of the Clone Wars. So looks like there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 short stories in here, but they're just novelizations of the episodes of the Clone Wars. So, I like novelizations, but Clone Wars is one of those things that was kind of iffy for me. Sometimes I liked it. Sometimes I wanted to shoot myself in the face. Sorry, I'll read you what you guys are doing here in a minute. The Clone Wars novel. I guess this is the novelization of the film. Have not read it, but I have it here on this shelf. And I have another copy on the Expanded Universe shelf because I guess it crosses over. Dark Disciple. Did not like that book. I like Christy Golden, but I did not like that book. Got to get some water, some liquid ice. Yeah, to me, the characters, I guess she did her job right, because to me, whenever I was reading it, I did not visualize the characters that I know, like Kenobi. He read just like he would from an episode of the Clone Wars. Same with Yoda. So I guess she did a good job writing it to stay with the style of the Clone Wars cartoon, because it basically follows the timeline of Asajj Ventress and Quinlan Vos. So those were, I guess, primarily Clone Wars characters. So I didn't like it, and people hated me for it. We've got Revenge of the Sith. Have not read it. And I do have all these novelizations in paperback on the Expanding Universe shelf. Then we've got Ahsoka. Do not like it. And guys, this is like the first, it might not be the first, but one of the first that I recognized contradictions in Star Wars canon. She's got 2 white blades, or blue or green or something, in one of the shows. That's the thing. Is the saber colors are different in this, and the way that she gets her sabers back. In the Clone Wars cartoon, she like had one left in the snow, and Vader finds it, and he's like, "Oh, Ahsoka's lightsaber." In the book, she had both of her lightsabers buried in a fake grave, and then she got them back. So yeah, wonder who did that. Filoni. We got Tarkin. This book was all right, and a lot of my opinions have changed over time. So just be aware, because when things soak in your brain for a while, you're like, well, yeah, I know I liked it, but then I started thinking about it, and then later on I didn't like it, or you didn't like it, and then oh yeah, well, I think I did like it now. Tarkin, not as good as I claimed in my review. Now that time has passed, kind of dull. Lords of the Sith. I enjoyed that one a lot. I actually listened to that one on audiobook format again. Well, for the first time, listened to it. I read the book when it came out. I listened to it last year, and I really enjoyed it again. So, Lords of the Sith, A+ from me. Catalyst, love that book a lot. Very good. It's a prequel to Rogue One, and basically A New Hope as well. Cool character in there. Has Obit. I know some of you people might have heard me talk about that in one of the live streams previously about who do I want to have come back more. As Obit. He's in Catalyst. Okay, then we've got Leia, Princess of Alderaan. That was a good book. Decent. Claudia Gray. Star Wars Most Wanted. Another one that's just kind of like a mediocre, like, oh, yeah. Nothing really just that sticks out, but it was fun. Thrawn by Timothy Zahn. I gave this like an A+ or something. Probably would have downgraded that now to like a B- or C. A New Dawn, I didn't like that one when I read it, really, because it was Rebels, and I didn't watch Rebels at the time, which I have watched it since. I finished off, just to clarify, I have finished the Clone Wars series and Rebels. I haven't finished off that other one, Resistance. Still have some episodes to go on that. We got Thrawn Treason. I thought it was okay. Thrawn Alliances. Didn't really like that one. I think I said I like it a lot, but then after a while, that one downgraded for me. Thrawn Treason, that was okay. Don't really remember much about it. Rebel Rising, I like that. It's about Jyn Erso and her being raised up to basically be a rebel. Pirate's Price, it's one of these little, we got these things here. One of these I started and I was like, no, I'm done. I'm not going to finish this. So, don't care. Lando's Luck, don't care. Solo by Mur Lafferty, novelization. Thought it was okay. Rogue One by Alexander Freed. Good stuff. Like that one a lot. We have A New Hope by Alan Dean Foster, but it says George Lucas. Haven't read that one yet. From a certain point of view, like I said, nope, not for me. Inferno Squad, well, yes, I like Inferno Squad. As my review, a little snippet of my review, made it to the paperback version on the back cover. And I can't remember, I'm sorry, who told me, somebody told me, hey, congratulations on making it to the back of the book. And I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, your TheGeeksAttic is on the back of the paperback of Inferno Squad. And I remember like reading that on my phone when I was at work, and I turned around my boss. I'm like, hey, I gotta go to lunch. Went to Barnes and Noble, which was really close to where I worked at the time. And yeah, I was like, oh, that's really cool. Bought it. I had to tell the cashier, like, that's me. That's me. Still really excited about that. And just doubt it'll ever happen again. But, you know, we've got Smuggler's Run. It's one of these books, Journey to the Star Wars Force Awakens. No, I didn't like that. I feel like this is too tight now. Now I'm not comfortable with it. Again, dang it. Let's move this down. Then we've got Heir to the Jedi. Guys, that was such a bad book. That might be the worst in canon. It might be worse than Aftermath, guys, to be honest with you. Heir to the Jedi was one of those books that after I finished it, I was embarrassed that I read it. And sorry to the author, like, poor guy. I mean, when I read these things, I don't really judge the author, except for Chuck Wendig. Dude's a jerk. He deserves all the bashing that he got because he's a hateful b-hole. But yeah, Heir to the Jedi, we all see that Kevin Hearn has not written another Star Wars book since. So bad. That was like my first like rant review that I posted. Then we've got Weapon of a Jedi, horrible. Battlefront Twilight Company, still an A+. I need to revisit that one. Alexander Freed did an amazing job. There's a hallway scene, which Rogue One, we have Darth Vader hallway scene, which was incredible, blew everybody's mind. I think the writer might have written, I doubt it, but you'd think that he read Twilight Company because there's a scene just like that in the hallway at Hoth. It was incredible, terrifying. We got Empire Strikes Back, haven't read it. Moving Target, one of those little kid books again, or junior novels. Didn't like it. Return of the Jedi, haven't read it. Alphabet Squadron, like we already said, wasn't too happy about it. Shadowfall, loved it. Aftermath, bleh. Aftermath Life Debt, I thought was a little bit better than Aftermath. Like, oh, okay. Well, Chuck's kind of redeeming himself a little bit, maybe. And then Empire's End happened. Sucks. Lost Stars by Claudia Gray. Still like it. Still one of my favorites. Last Shot. Hated that one. That one, I didn't, it just was stupid to me. I didn't like it. I think one of the guys that joins us often, Brian Snerpa, likes this one a lot. He's wrong. It sucks. We have Bloodline, which is a good one, by Claudia Gray. Then we've got Phasma, which is a Mad Max Star Wars book. I didn't really like it that much, I don't think. But like as time went on, it actually kind of was like, okay. You know, it's like, I know that one got a lot of bashing on that one. A lot of people did not like Phasma. But in my head later on, years down the road, all right, I guess. I might need to revisit it. I know there were some stupid parts in it, but which one of these books? Well, I guess I can name a few that don't have stupid parts. But then we go on to Canto Bight, which is like a short, it's got a couple short stories from different authors like Saldine Ahmed, Ray Carson, Mira Grant, and John Jackson Miller. So John Jackson Miller. Then we've got Poe Dameron Freefall, which was an okay read, but it was like him in his youth and how he like left his father because his mother had passed, and he's like, oh, I want to be my own man type thing, and he escapes Yavin 4, or gets away, runs away from home, joins the what do they call the spice runners of Kijimi, which in the Rise of Skywalker he's like, oh, you have a history with these people. Yeah, not really. There's absolutely no spice running while he's a spice runner. Weird. And then, like I said, we got that Aliens book that I never read. And then we have Star Wars Force Collector, to be honest with you, the only thing I remember about this book is that the main character he passed out, like force overload in his brain, and then he collected like little force things and like would get that force sight. I don't know what they called it, but when he touched an object, he'd sense what happened and like, oh, there's dark things attached to this. Like, oh, I could hear the voice of so and so. Not memorable. So, meh. Then we got Star Wars Before the Awakening. Yeah, that was lame, I guess. I mean, it's like, oh, here's a prequel novel, a junior prequel novel to The Force Awakens with all the characters. And no. You had Rey, which nobody knows what happened. Rey's so mysterious. She's a mysterious character until The Rise of Skywalker. You're like, wait, this is why nobody. I'm gonna move past that. We got Star Wars: The Force Awakens. To me, that novelization was not very good. It was just a straightforward. Yeah, there were a couple little additions to it, but nothing that was special and like, oh, this was a cool novelization. And then we got the Legends of Luke Skywalker. Cool book design. It's got two different textures. This is like a cloth, and you got your hardcover. But I like the red and the white colors. But the book itself wasn't that great. It was just another collection of short story type books that led to nowhere. We've got like Cobalt Squadron, which was a horrible book. You had the Last Jedi novelization, which to me was better than the film for sure. But still, it's The Last Jedi. And honestly, though, too, that's one of my favorite covers for the new canon. I think that's a really cool look. Just looks nice to me. Then we've got Star Wars Black Spire. This is Galaxy's Edge Black Spire. That one was, in my opinion, I kind of liked it. Some of the stuff didn't make any sense towards the end, but I kind of liked it. They brought back a dead character. Well, I guess the character wasn't dead. I thought it was dead. I thought he was dead. Turns out he wasn't. So my fault. Sorry. First round up. We've got A Crash of Fate, which also can't remember anything about it. Kind of lame. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend that one. Haven't read it. This next one I have not read either. I intended to before I saw the film, but never did. Spark of Resistance. And now I know how The Last Jedi turned out, so I don't care to read this one. But completionist, gotta have it on the shelf, right? Minus the little kid books. But like I said, I'll probably put them back up. We have Star Wars Resistance Reborn. People hate this book. People do not like this book. I do have something I want to say about this. I enjoyed it. I thought the villain was one of the better villains that we had in a lot of these Star Wars books. It felt more than just like a villain of the week. The guy was a greedy bastard and got what came to him. And we got, like, yes, it was a very connective story. I said it in my review. This is like the most EU book than all the other ones. This one tied in characters from other books, from past movies, from video games. This book tied it together. This is what the whole thing should feel like, was to me in this. And then, of course, we got The Rise of Skywalker, where none of this mattered, which sucks. So I still stand by this one, and I always like to check the back of the paperbacks now whenever they release them. Like, oh, maybe they said something, because whenever I said something positive about a book. But lately, I don't think Del Rey likes to listen to me because, I don't know. Some of the things I say in my reviews might tick somebody off. But I don't care. But I am very embarrassed. I would be embarrassed by what they put on the back of the paperback novel for this. They said, this is the Marvel how did they word it? Dang it. I don't have a device to look it up on. But it was like, this is the... Dang it. I have to look it up because I want to get this right. It said something about it being equivalent to Marvel's Endgame. Dang, I gotta pull up the Kindle Fire here and check it out, because now that I've mentioned it and I've been dragging it out so long, I have to look it up. What is this book called? Resistance Reborn? Yeah. Resistance Reborn. Search. What are you guys saying down here? You guys chewing me out? You guys are talking down here, that's for sure. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry I haven't paid too much attention. I've been focused over here trying to get that out. Resistance Reborn. Come on. Amazon. Paperback version came out this week, actually, Tuesday, as of this video. You guys are probably already looking at it. I just saw that last one. Okay. Which, by the way, they did not put any review snips on the back of this paperback. I don't know why. But maybe I was the only person that gave it a positive review, and they're like, you don't like that guy. Which doesn't make any sense. Okay, they put, I just had it up. Okay, this is from IO9. They said, this is embarrassing to me. Why on earth would you put this on the back of the novel? This is the Avengers Endgame of Star Wars tie-in media. The expanded universe is being compared to an Avengers Endgame. What? I mean, come on. Did anybody get what I'm talking about here? This expanded universe, everything ties together. It's supposed to all tie together into one big story. And this, they say, oh, this is the end game. This is like the Marvel end game. Come on. It's like they didn't have any faith in it. So they're like, oh, let's put Marvel Endgame on the back of the book. Maybe that'll make people want to like it. Stupid. Then we have Star Wars Rise of Skywalker novelization, which was okay. I think it had some cool stuff in it that I liked it better than the movie. Had some cool stuff that we did not get from the movie, which is, what I like to see in a novelization. But the stuff that happened in there would have been really cool to see on film. I want to go back here and see what you guys are saying. So, wow, you guys really went after it, huh? Now that we're done here, how about we move over back to the computer so I can sit down? I do have some other books that I wanted to show you that are not Star Wars related, but we'll talk about those here in a second. I'm going to move over here. It's fun. It's like we've got multiple cameras. It's fun. One more second. Do this. I forgot to put the knickknacks back on the bookshelf. Better do that here in a little bit. Whoa! Sorry. Should probably I'm making everybody nauseous, aren't I? I'm sorry. Take my phone out of this thing. It's gonna make a noise. Woo! Oh, what did I do? What did I do? No! I'm sorry, everybody. Here we go. Boom! We're back. Okay. So, get that. I'm not muted anymore, am I? So I'm muted the entire time? So that would suck. Okay. So, let's go back through these comments and see what you guys been saying here. It looks like I've missed quite a bit. I see down there Matt Wilkins is in watching all this new Canon bookshelf stuff. Thanks, Matt. You had a little thing for the new Canon. My gosh. Okay. Mad Mashad. Nope. Rob D. Wait, where are we going? Sorry, guys. It'd be nice to have had a moderator. Okay. Ever consider having the Star Wars art books? Yes, I answered that one. Rob D. Whenever I look at the timeline of Canon books on Wikipedia, roughly half the books say exact placement unknown. Exactly. That's the problem. We shouldn't have that issue. Get your stuff together. Quality autism. I like spinning. Yeah, talking about Queen's Peril. I like flying. I really like it. Obsidian 53B. What do you hope for the Star Wars High Republic books coming up next year? I hope they're good. I mean, I have a feeling I know why they're putting the High Republic out and at the time frame in which they're doing so. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to talk about that tomorrow or Saturday. By the way, guys, I'm going to be on a show on Get Vocal. There's a Force Fest, like a digital convention going on. on getvocal.com. After this video, I'll probably put a link up. You guys, I don't know if you have to have an account on GetVocal. It's free. If you have to have an account, all you do is plug your email into it. But I'm going to be doing a little panel with Star Raptor, who is hosting it, and there's a couple other guys that are going to be on there as well. 6:15 Central Time is when I'll be taking the stage, I guess, the digital stage with Star Raptor and the other guys, which are big into Star Wars fan reviews and all that stuff as well. One of them has a podcast that he runs, and really don't know much about them. I have been meaning to look up all their content, but they seem like really nice guys. I had a conversation with them yesterday, kind of practicing for on Saturday's thing. It's going to be great. I hope you guys can tune in to Get Vocal tomorrow or Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, 6:15 Central Time for Force Fest, where we talk about the High Republic. But my thoughts on it, really, they made it 200 years ago before the events of A New Hope. They don't want to go back to the Old Republic timeline because they don't want to piss off the fandom, because the fandom's going to be like, well, wait a second. You can't do that. Old Republic. What about the Old Republic? Where are these characters? Where's this? So they're like, okay, we have to distance it back so we don't make people mad, which is kind of a smart move, in my opinion. Rob D, I was really hoping that the Clone Wars novel was going to be original stories. Yeah, I was thinking that it was going to be that too, but whenever I first started reading it, I was like, wait a second, why does this sound so familiar? I'm sure that I saw this as an episode. And yeah, because I did. Man in chat, I hear that's a good trick quality. Oh, yeah, spinning. Rob D. But Matthew, is water really liquid ice or is it liquid gas? Some refreshing water liquid, yes. I always like the wet ice. The Imperial answer. I can't wait till he gets to Aftermath. yeah. Ugh. Not PTSD. Small time trigger warning when he gets to Heir to the Empire. Yeah. I remember having in my little review for that one, had like a little rage fit about the math, like how the noodles. There's math equations in the book, and there's a bunch of noodles. We have to move the force with the noodles with the force. So goofy. I'm so glad that I'm forget most of that book, but the bad stuff always usually really sticks with you. Rob D, when he gets to the Aftermath, he's going to pull up a pot from off screen, scream out real loud in it, and put a lid on top of it. Yeah. The Imperial answer. I wonder if he has Twilight Company. I do have Twilight Company, and I love it. I have all of the new canon novels, just so you know. Well, of course, if you were watching, you know that now. Mad Machad, I remember not liking Lords of the Sith because it focused on the Ryloth rebels more than Vader and Sidious. I can understand that. There was a part that I really liked with Vader and Sidious when they're sitting like around a campfire. That was really good. I enjoyed it. The Imperial answer, I think Lords of the Sith kind of undermines the Empire as a narrative threat. Yeah. See, I understand everybody's arguments, and that's good. I understand it. Everybody has their own opinions, and that's what's nice. You'll find that here that I'm happy that everybody has their own opinion. Other people like to oh, you like that book? Well, you're an idiot. I don't care. The Imperial answer. But so do all the books now, I guess that wait, what? Oh, okay, I understand. In reference to Lords of the Sith kind of undermines the Empire's narrative, but so all the other books kind of do now as well. Small time, the cashier was like, yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I needed to get like a shirt or something. The Imperial answer, here it comes. Oh, talking about, Heir to the Jedi. To be fair, Heir to the Jedi, Heir to the Empire, at least, was somewhat better than the Crystal Star. What isn't better than the Crystal Star? What isn't better? Which, by the way, Quality Autism is going to like this. I found a review that I wrote for Crystal Star. I think it was like back in 2015. I need to film that one and get it posted. Quality Autism praise Waru. The Imperial answer, indeed. Ugh, you guys. And chat, I completely forgot the Canto Bite book exists. Yeah. I think it's one of those easily forgettable stories. Rob D, are you going to try to collect the Star Wars comics again, or have you given up on that? Well, comics, I do have a box of comics that I'm just going to show you guys, and we could talk more about that, which I intended to do so anyway. So we'll get to that one here shortly, Rob D. The Imperial answer, interestingly, Canto Byte is the corporate sector. What happened over on my computer? Things are popping up on my computer for my email. I didn't open you. Interestingly, Canto Byte is the corporate sector. Yep. Okay. Forum, the Clone Wars was part of the CIS. It survived the Empire reign, apparently. I'm just a little confused. Sorry. Some of the stuff sinks in and some of it doesn't. Small time. I think the Clone Wars novelization was a bit too straightforward without providing much depth. Then again, I didn't want to learn more about Stinky. Rob D, the Crash of Fate novel should have used the concept art cover. I agree 100%. It looked a lot cooler. Darth Jelly. I like that name. I like Resistance Reborn. Good, thank you. Me too. A Small Time Myth and Fables is supposed to be good, which I've heard that too. I really would like to read that one. I want to read that one, and I need to finish that Dark Empire or Dark Legends. Dark Legends. I need to finish that one too. I don't know why I haven't. I just haven't. Quality Autism only took them 50 books before they started to tie some things together in a novel like the EU would always do. I know, and that's such a bummer. Like, why have as many books as they do? There's a lot of books. You know, that's a pretty big bookshelf. You saw how many books there were. None of them tie. I mean, yeah, some of the characters, like the only one that I could think of that's been in multiple books was that Ray Sloan, and of course Thrawn. But Thrawn only, well, no. Not Thrawn, because Thrawn only appears in Thrawn books. Sloane appeared in a couple of different books. And then I can't remember what happened to her. She just kind of vanished. The Imperial answer, that sounds like a recommendation to me. Matt Wilkins. Oh, here he goes. Wait, why is he fully dressed? I thought this was the hardbacks and birthday suits stream. Oh, wait, that's tomorrow. A Wild Wilkins appeared. Matt Wilkins, Matthew's shirt is sending message to his viewers. That's right. Y'all need Jesus. Small time. Matt Wilkins, did you come out of the hurricane okay? Wolfgang Blaze, I was actually thinking the same thing. Wolfgang Blaze, thank you for your answer. Your channel is in my top 3 YouTube channels. Great to watch after a day of work. Well, thank you, Wolfgang. I appreciate that. Glad to be there after a rough day of work. Matt Wilkins just got power restored. Now it's time to troll. You dirty dog. Matt Machad, well, you're a viewer now, Matt. Yep, watching all that new Canon talk. The Imperial answer, I never saw Endgame or the previous films. I'm actually doing Marvel Watch Along series on my channel, except tonight. Not doing it tonight because we've got a Paper Movies video tonight at 11:15 p.m. Central Time. So just another hour, basically, before we start talking about Raiders of the Lost Ark novelization. Can't wait to talk about that with Adam and Jeremy. We've got the Imperial answer, even though it contradicts the VR game. Wait, that's just skipped around something. Something happened. What in the world? What in the world? I hate when this stuff happens. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so far, I'm trying fast to catch up to you guys. Okay, Imperial answer. Saw Endgame. Okay, you never saw the Endgame. After The Last Jedi, I didn't bother with any more Disney films. I don't blame you. I mean, I was disappointed when I watched The Rise of Skywalker. I walked out, I was like, yeah, it was fine. I was, trying to trick myself into enjoying it. And like I said, I never bought the film. I have all the other films. Even with The Last Jedi, I was like, I don't want that movie, but I did because, completionist, and I was bummed out about the whole thing, why it wrapped up the way it did. Ian, page 9. What does that even mean? LOL. I wish I remembered what you were talking about. Rob D, Matt Wilkins, how long were you out of power? Okay, but Endgame was good. LOL, what a silly complaint. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, why put that on the back of your Star Wars book? You should have your own canon that you were. It should have been like, oh, this is the expanded universe legends of the canon. Darth Jelly, when a hurricane was in my country, it took 5 months to restore power. That's a long time. Yeah. No power all day. That sucked. For Matt, you didn't have power all day. Wow. Back to the Stone Age. Small time. Matthew, you were happier before you started going through your Disney Star Wars collection. Sorry. Well, Matt Wilkins. I mean, like GeeksAttic reading new canon sucked. Miserable all day just until now. Well, that's good. I'm glad you have power back, Matt. The GeeksAttic Witch Project. Matt, still no internet though. You have no internet. Guess you're on cell service. Rob D says to Matt, "Did you at least play any board games to pass the time?" And I guess he did. Oh no, roaming fees. Meaning, I thought that was a board game, but I'm guessing he's on a cell phone playing the troll. Small time. Matt Wilkins has no power all day. Gets back to and sees Disney Star Wars. Wishes he didn't have power again. I'm sorry. Thanks for checking on me though, the Hurricane Matthew. Oh wait, you never bothered to check in on me. See, I was looking at it and I was like, I need to send Matt a message, but I thought you were like not anywhere near. For some reason, I had it in my head that you were in Mississippi because I thought I asked you before, Matt, if you were in Louisiana. You're like, no, I'm in Mississippi, but maybe that switched up in my brain, dad brain. I'm gonna blame it on that, and I probably thought you were in Mississippi before, and you're like, no, I'm in Louisiana. Sorry, I'm a horrible friend. So you guys know that I'm a horrible friend. I forget things. The Imperial answer, curious, Matthew, but is it me or do the new books make it seem like the Empire isn't much of a threat compared to Legends? The Empire in canon is being manhandled in the war. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I didn't really get much of the Empire in the expanded universe as like where I started reading and then where I stopped and then started over. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, everybody's got to be good and always defeat the bad. It's not how it works. Life isn't really like that. But yeah, it's a good thought there. Imperial answer. Matt Wilkins. I played the game solo. Wanted to play more, but picked up a book instead. We're going to play one game. So Obsidian 53B, last Alphabet Squadron novel is called Victory's Price on the Nerdist website. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the last book in that trilogy because I like the second one so much. But hopefully it doesn't pull a Chuck Wendig and it's like, oh, I like this one, and then the third one just like crash and burn. The Imperial answer, Darth Mammon covers the Old Republic a bit. Huh. Darth Mammon covers the Old Republic a bit. Darth Mammon. I guess that's a comic book character, right? The Imperial answer, even though it contradicts the VR game. I don't know what Darth Mammon is. Quality autism, they can't go back to the Old Republic time. The hyperdrive only exists for 1,000 years in the Disney canon. Yeah. They're only going 200 years, which is weird for the High Republic thing. But, I mean, it should have pushed it back at least 500, maybe 600. Quality autism, see you later. Oh, well, you've been gone. I've been reading this the whole time. Bye, Quality, if you ever come back and rejoin. Matt Wilkins is reading The Winds of Dune. Oh, I'm about to catch up to you guys. Rob D, bye, Quality. The Imperial answer, I meant Heir to the Jedi was better than Crystal Star. Well, that's a tough question. Wow. I'm going to have to think on that one. The Imperial answer, let me rephrase that. Heir to the Jedi had far better grammar and error checking, though interestingly, I believe one of the concepts from Crystal Star is in The Force Awakens. That's interesting. The Imperial answer, Starkiller Base and the World Craft seem very similar to one another. The World Craft, is that something from the expanded universe? I didn't get that far. Man, Chad, I'll see you later. Gotta take a quiz, but be back for paper movies. Yeah. Good luck on your quiz, but you're probably already gone. Small time, is there a time period you would like to see Star Wars focus on going forward? I think the High Republic 200 BBY is a good idea if they can pull it off properly. Yeah, I mean, the High Republic would be great because I feel there's two different things. They want to distance themselves from the Skywalker trilogy, as they should, I guess, because how much are you going to milk that? It seems like right now, everything is in that same time period. Move it away a little bit. Let's go somewhere else. Even like with the sequel trilogy, I think they also want to move away as far from the sequel trilogy as possible because of, fandom. People weren't happy with it. But with the Thrawn stuff, the Thrawn ascendancy, not to get into like spoiler stuff here, but I won't get into spoilers. It's in the outside unknown space. The chaos is what they mean by chaos rising. Chaos is unknown space to the galaxy we know, but regular space to the Chiss. So out in the chaos, completely different galaxy. You know what I mean? So they're trying to maybe with the Thrawn stuff push out to another galaxy that they can tie in, scoop in. Oh, look, we can go in there and we can weave back out real quick. So it's like Star Wars, but also outside of Star Wars, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of a smart move too. Having Thrawn or Zahn do that. It's good. I enjoyed the new Thrawn book, and I think it's a cool way to shift focus away from some of the stuff that we've got right now. Rob D, I really hope High Republic turns out good. They really need a standout canon long-run novel series. I agree with you. I just get worried that they're not going to make it an actual series. I think they're going to be like, okay, here's a novel, and then here's the junior novel, here's the YA novel, and then here's one more novel, and then maybe leave it behind. They need to have everything like, yeah, here's a series of 10 books. Let's do that. Why not? Of course, they've got to write good characters. To me, in my opinion, they brought in the worst people. Well, I mean, I like Claudia Gray. She's the only one of the authors that they brought in that I was like, oh, good. They know what they're doing. The rest of the authors, I was like, oh, gosh, no, please don't. I don't want this to be some politically correct, agenda-pushing series. With the authors that they picked out are those authors that do that stuff. I don't want that. I really don't. Okay, small time. People were critical when they released Chapter 1 of the first High Republic book. There's an entire industry built on hating anything new, though. That's true. It is sad, and it's true. When it comes to like reading the Chapter 1, I did not read it. I do not read excerpts when they come out. I just don't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. I want to go into a book fully surprised by it. I don't like reading the back of novels, which I've said that many times. Which, speaking of novel stuff, let's push away from the Star Wars stuff for just a second. And before we wrap things up for Paper Movies, which is in exactly 1 hour before we do that stream, I guess. Okay, I'll show you these. I got a couple books that I picked up real quick. Okay, we got The 12 Mile Strait by Eleanor Henderson. It was in the Dollar Tree. Just paid $1 for it. I was like, you know what? Might be something different. You know what I mean? It'd be fun to take a step away from all the nerd stuff that is just taking over our lives. These franchises, they suck you in, and then they, want you craving more. And sometimes you just got to take a break before you get sick and tired of it. And I picked up A Map of the Dark by Karen Ellis. Don't know anything about this stuff. I just picked up a random book. I was like, hey, $1, why not? This one, I actually started reading it. I'm on chapter 3, and I am loving it so far. It's a detective, like some girl goes missing, and this detective, her dad is dying of cancer, and she gets called into work to go help out this other new detective on the case. And she's like, oh, I gotta leave my dad here in the hospital. He's dying. That's what I've got to so far. So yeah, she's like running off to go work on a case. Good stuff. I like it. Probably not gonna review it on the channel, but it's one of those books you read for yourself. You're like, oh, I like this. No one to talk to about it. Darth Jelly, the author for the adult novel in High Republic, is very good. Charles Soule. I don't think I've read a Charles Soule book. I don't think he's written an actual novel. I think he did a lot of the canon stuff or comic book stuff, which is cool. They're bringing a comic book writer in to write a novel. This one is random. Another Dollar Tree purchase for $1. I just picked up this book. I mean, it's like Christmas look. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll read it for Christmas. Maybe not, because I did the same thing like 2 years ago and never read the book. This one, the title, The Season of Us. It's going to be horrible. And then Adam from Bryant's Nerd Pub gave me this one, The Lock by Steve Alton. So that's cool. Book about the Loch Ness Monster. That'll be fun. really thick. Rob D, I picked up some comics this week. I got Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, Superman Year One, and Darth Knight's Metal: The Resistance. That's cool. That's cool. Speaking of comics, that question was brought up about the Star Wars, if I'm going to pick up more stuff or not. The answer is no. I am not going to pick up any new Star Wars comics. Eventually, when I can find the trade paperbacks and I have the extra cash to drop for them, yeah, I'll keep on getting those trade paperbacks because I do want to know more about what's going on in the comic book world. So, but with the other comic stuff, I took all my single issues, guys, my single Star Wars issues. I had a lot of them. I had issues 1 through 30 of the main line of Star Wars. I took those in, sold them. Han Solo run, Princess Leia run, and the Kanan Jarrus run. Took those all in. Oh, and Shattered Empire and the Darth Vader 1 through, they had 1 through 5, 1 through 15 or something like that. The 2 Vader runs that they came out with, I sold those too. Sold all my Star Wars single issues, even the one-shot stuff. Got rid of it all. They were like, you want $40 in cash or $65 in store credit? I said, I'll take the $65 in store credit because there's another comic book that I would really want to get, and I'll just buy it from that place with the credit. I want the Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin stuff. Really into the Ninja Turtles right now, which, you saw that I've been doing reviews from this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Ultimate Collection Volume 1. Guys, if you're not into Ninja Turtles, you need to be. It is so awesome. It's so much fun. I'm reading those and I'm loving it so much. I know my reviews haven't had many hits for the Turtles. I've only got 2 of those reviews up right now, but I've read 4 issues and I love it so much. So much fun. I highly recommend that you pick up these comics. Check out the reviews, see how excited I am about them, and then make a decision if you should get them or not. And these volumes are really cheap on eBay. Like seriously, if you buy them new, they're like $50 maybe. Used in good condition or great condition, I got the volume 1 for $20, and this is a new one, volume 2. There's all this stuff is in the black and white, so this isn't that colorized version, which I think is more expensive. But yeah, this one was like $15, and then I've got volume 3 in the mail coming within the next couple of weeks. Paid $14 for it, so you can get these volumes really cheap. Definitely recommend that you guys do it. We've got Small Time, of course, a Hollywood Wright Christmas book. Yeah, Holly Chamberlain. That's funny. Small Time, Cowabunga, The Imperial Answer. I heard a lot of new Star Wars comics do a lot of plagiarizing of online art models. Really? I know that I got really tired of their art really fast when it was like taking pictures of like the characters and just tracing over them. It looked so bad. I was like, ugh, it makes me want to gag. But the comics that I do have, I want to show you like my comic collection. If you guys are cool with that, I'll show you this. I kept some Star Wars stuff, but it's not canon. Not Disney canon, I should say. Got Star Wars Dark Empire, which I think I've shown all of these. All my Star Wars comics. So, I mean, I can show you again real quick. You got Dark Empire number 2, Dark Empire number 3, and then, why is that there? Dark Empire number 4. I love the art on these. The art, beautiful. Dark Empire number 5. That's there's something weird going on with that one. I need to read Dark Empire. I have not read Dark Empire yet, and it's driving me crazy. I probably really should do that. And then we've got Dark Empire number 6, and I just noticed that this is like a Dark Horse Classics, which is why it looks completely different. You have the Star Wars logo, that gradient look on it, and then we got Dark Empire number 2, issue 1, Dark Empire 2, 3, issue 3, Dark Empire 2, issue 5, and then Dark Empire 2 issue 6. So there's a couple issues from Dark Empire 2 that I'm missing. I need to hunt those things down. And then we've got Dark Empire number 4. Did I have 2 copies of that? I thought I showed that. No? What? I'm confused. How did that fall out of my lap? Oh well. We've got Heir to the Empire. Check that out. Issue 1. Heir to the Empire issue 3. Heir to the Empire issue 4. Heir to the Empire issue 5. And then Heir to the Empire issue 6. So I've got one missing in there that I need to get. It sucks. At least it's only 1 instead of like 3 or 4 that I'm missing. Then with I've got Dark Force Rising stuff. We've got 5 of 6, issue 6, issue 1, issue 2. These are all out of order. And issue 3. I should probably put these things in order so I can find out which ones I need to find and get. I mean, I know it's probably easier to just go ahead and buy like an omnibus with all these things in them, but stupid chainsaw, that's hot. Yeah, Jared, all these Dark Force Rising comics. I need to read these. Star Wars Last Command 3, Last Command issue 2. Which, what in the world is going on with that? It looks like a what is it? A Thundercat. Looks like Lion-O Thundercat. Who's that supposed to be? That's supposed to be a Mara Jade, is it? I mean, kind of other art looks really cool. Like that looks creepy. This Stormtrooper looks good, but she just looks like a cartoon. Looks like Lion-O from Thundercats. So we got issue 3, issue 2, and it looks like that's it with the last Command stuff. And we got like the Star Wars 96 Marvel old stuff. Marvel Comic Group Star Wars Double Jeopardy. What issue? This number 73. 68. I think that's it for like the old stuff. Boba Fett, I remember this one. I remember buying this one at on Tinker Air Force Base. Boba Fett Twin Engines of Destruction. This was a one-shot, I think. You guys would know that better than I do because I'm not real big into the whole comic situation. Special Wizard Edition, Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron, Empire Strikes Back, first day presentation. X-Wing Rogue Squadron 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I got that set. That's nice. I like how they put the issues 1 of 6, 1 of 5. That makes things easy when collecting. See, the Imperial Answer says, for all the complaints, Dark Empire got it. For all the complaints Dark Empire got, it sure seems like the narrative for the sequel trilogy copied several of the elements. Yes, I know. Yeah. Small Time, the Proton Pack is looking good in the background. Oh, thank you. Rob D, I first heard of TMNT when the Kids WB series came out in the early 2000s. There were so many toy commercials on TV. Yeah, I remember, man, the 90s. The 90s cartoon is what I watched. Good stuff. Rob D, hey, Jeremy, do you have any of the Aliens comics? I heard Marvel is going to make an Aliens hardcover omnibus. Ooh. And Stupid Chainsaw says that image that looked like a Lion-O, the Thundercat, is Mara Jade. The Imperial Answer, to be fair, it looks better than Thundercat's Roar. Stupid Chainsaw Productions. I have some stuff. Most of it burned in a fire. Yeah, that sucks. The Imperial Answer. I wouldn't mind that Mara Jade defending Thunder. See, it's been such a long time since I've watched Thundercats. I remember my roommate in college. One of my roommates, he bought the DVDs, and we watched those for a while. Stupid Chainsaw once in. Me and okay. I'll get an invite up and pull him in. I guess that's because I still have a couple other Star Wars comics. I could save the other issues that I have, like the different types of comics for another stream. I think it'd be kind of fun to go over. I'll pull in Stupid Chainsaw. I'll send him an invite to chat a little bit before we get into the Paper Movies on the Paper Movies channel, which is going to be an exciting conversation. You guys need to go subscribe over there if you haven't already. We've talked about The Predator, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Dragon Slayer from 1981. Good stuff. Anonymous Tick, have you read any of those? Any of the Star Wars comics that I'm showing you right now? No. You got Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. This came with like the toys, the Shadow of the Empire toys. I've got another Shadows of the Empire. And this one is really cool. I'll show you this one before I bring Jeremy in. The Star Wars Special Edition, A New Hope. 1, you got 2, 3, and 4. And just recently I found Jeremy's being really disturbing in the I can see him. You guys can't see him yet. But you can put these together and it makes an image. It's really cool. I just found that out a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years ago when I was making a video about my Star Wars comic book collection. Got a free comic book day Star Wars book. Jeremy's laughing at himself. We got a Star Wars special 2008, and then the last one, another free comic book day Star Wars. So that's the Star Wars comics that I have, and of course I've got some new Canon trade stuff, but no reason to pull that stuff out. I can't get these comic books to fit back in the box. Great. Now I'm gonna go ahead and plug in some headphones and bring Jeremy aboard for 30 minutes before we jump over to Paper Movies.
Did somebody say Paper Movies?
Movies? Sure did.
Literally, we can talk about this now. My Raiders copy, someone gave me this copy. Like, after the fire, like, I had no books. Someone was like, you like Indiana Jones? And gave me this really water-damaged, beaten-up copy of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where, as I read it, the cover started to disintegrate. So every time I opened it up, part of the cover would just fall out of my hands. Also, we're on the laptop because my desktop broke.
Oh, yeah. That's such a bummer.
It is. I can't hook up my mic. I don't have the right adapter. So we're just going to wing it. Can't even use my mixing board.
Oh, man. Bummer.
Yeah. I think I sent you a message early on that was like the thing that we were rolling with tonight.
It'll be fine. I'm going to pull up a link and paste it in the comment section. Obsidian 53B is asking for the link to the channel, so I'll pull it up for you.
You want me to show some James Bond covers off?
Yeah.
So I've been Adam's been helping me, Bryant's Nerd Pub, with collecting some James Bond books, the Ian Fleming ones. I also picked up some. He picked up this copy of Goldfinger, which is pretty dope. Honestly, I thought when I first looked at it, I'm like, oh, is this a GoldenEye cover? Because it's the whole color scheme of GoldenEye on there. So then I got this movie cover of Man with the Golden Gun, which, by the way, any of the Roger Moore movies basically have nothing to do with the Ian Fleming books they're based off of. So much so that the later Roger Moore movies got movie novelizations that are separate from the Ian Fleming novels, but have the same name, which is really weird. But then I picked up some of these. I showed you these a while ago, Matthew, these pinup covers.
Yeah, they look really cool.
There's a Quantum of Solace, which is just the complete James Bond short stories. It's basically
they look like vintage posters, which is cool.
Yeah. The new Ian Fleming Bond book covers are horrible. They're so bland. They're just black and white with like weird designs. Got Man with the Golden Gun, which was Fleming's last Oh, I guess I have two. Man with the Golden Guns. Fleming wasn't done with this before he had his heart attack.
Mm.
That's his. Then got You Only Live Twice. Got a little side boob going on there.
That's why you bought it, you dog.
All right. Then we got On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is this is what someone looks like when they just wear a wedding veil. And lastly, The Spy Who Loved Me. More side boob. It's the theme of these covers. Yeah.
That's good. Well, hey, Rob D has a question for you, Jeremy.
I may have an answer.
How are the Alien novels? He's really interested in reading them. Would you recommend them?
They vary. They vary in quality drastically, and don't expect continuity like you have with Star Wars. Your first three Alien novels, the ones that Steve Perry had a hand in, were immediately decanonized when Alien 3 came out because Newt and Hicks are the main characters, and for obvious reasons, if you've seen Alien 3, that's not the case, especially because Newt's an adult. And then there's like a ton of Alien stuff, unlike with Predator, where there's like next to nothing book wise, and they vary in quality. The new books are weird. I don't know if I'd recommend them or not. I've only read 2 so far, and didn't really like either of them. One was written by Tim Ledman. It was called Out of the Shadows, and it was just like Ripley has a one-off adventure between Alien and aliens that doesn't make any sense whatsoever and is never brought up ever. And then Sea of Sorrow is a direct sequel with a descendant of Ripley's, even though her only daughter never had children. There's a descendant of Ripley who is psychic and has a connection to the aliens. And he's not likable at all, and no one's likable.
That's weird.
And then River of Pain, I got partway through it and then gave up. It was just boring. I think I didn't even get partway through. I got a chapter in, and I think it's supposed to be like a prequel to Aliens with like Newt's parents, and it's like, I don't care about this.
Mm-hmm.
The only stuff I cared about that is in the director's cut of Aliens. I don't need a book about it. I don't need a book that's 300 pages about this. That's like next to nothing. Like, no, thank you. But I've been told. Well, I will say Tim Levin's Rage War trilogy, which is technically an Alien versus Predator crossover event, that's good. Aliens Bug Hunt, the short story book, has some really good short stories in it that are well worth checking out. I'm trying to think of like the movie novelizations are good. I've heard that Alien Isolation, the novelization, which came out last year, even though the game came out like 5 years ago, is pretty decent. But like they come out with one once a year. Oh, don't read Aliens Echo. That's their YA novel. That's a love story that just happens to have xenomorphs in it.
Weird.
Picture Lost Stars, but written terribly, and has xenomorphs in it.
Yeah. So, are all of these collected in those Alien omnibus books?
No, that's this. What I've just been mentioning is done directly from Titan Books. These started getting released back in like right after Prometheus came out.
Okay.
The omnibus stuff is all the older stuff from Del Rey. So Del Rey had the rights. Then Dark Horse had some Alien novels that no one talks about and you can like not find. And I don't think those have been collected. Because they also did like a Predator novel that no one read. It was like Dark Horse tried to do novels, not like what they did with Dark Forces, where they had like paintings in them, like straight novels. And that was like a thing for like 2 years, and then they gave up on it. And then Titan Books got the rights to both franchises.
See, I come across these Alien and Predator books a lot whenever I go to the used bookstore, and I need to start sending you messages when I find them and ask you about them. Is there's a lot of them that I find, and I haven't, for some reason I don't have an interest in them. I mean, and like that's clearly like when you take a break from Star Wars, you're reading Aliens and Predator novels and stuff. Yeah, that's what you plan on doing with 007 stuff too now.
Oh yeah, the double. So my whole thing is I wanted to read things from the last century that came out before the 60s. So I read some Ayn Rand stuff. I read Anthem. You heard me. I told you all about that one.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't. I wanted to get as far away from what I normally read as possible into the past.
Yeah,
It's a totally different way of writing. And I truly appreciate it. And I probably will go even further back. I've been thinking about reading War and Peace of all things, and Anna Karenina, and just reading Tolstoy's work, and just things like that, where it's just an older way of writing, and just like experiencing that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. See, like I mentioned earlier that I started reading another novel after I finished Raiders a couple days ago. I thought, you know what? I had a lot of fun. Well, I'm not going to talk about that. Fun reading something that wasn't Star Wars.
Oh, God, yeah.
Or the Warcraft, which, by the way, I meant to mention it in the stream. I'm going to have to do another stream. Maybe next week I'll mention it some other time. But this World of Warcraft Shadows Rising book by Madeline Rowe, I guess is how you would say that. Rux, Rowe. I don't want to finish this novel. I don't want to finish it.
Then don't.
I made it to chapter 3, but the stuff that I've heard from the author with the words that came out of her mouth or saw on Twitter, I just don't care to finish the book. It put a bad taste in my mouth.
You're beginning to understand my hatred for Dan Slott. Dan Slott ruined Spider-Man for me, and it wasn't just because he wrote Spider-Man bad. It's because he would talk a bunch of smack if he didn't like what you said on Twitter. In fact, he back in the day before he got really into the Spider-Man thing, because he wrote Spider-Man forever. Mm-hmm. He wrote Spider-Man for 100 issues, then rebooted it with Superior Spider-Man, then rebooted it again to Amazing Spider-Man with an issue number 1. I mean, the dude wrote Spider-Man for like 8 years. He was like the definitive Spider-Man author, and it was just all terrible, in my opinion. Back in the beginning, if you didn't like if you tweeted anything that was remotely negative about his books, he'd go after you.
That's so weird. That's weird.
It was, and it just like he eventually has stopped doing that. Mm-hmm. He's unpleasant on Twitter, but it's not nearly as bad as that was. But it's like a lot of comic book creators, like modern ones, seems to me are either really political or they just can't handle criticism. Yeah. And
what's weird about it all is like the whole political thing of it too. Not to dive into this, but obviously you see my shirt, so probably have an idea of what political party I'm going to be standing behind. Like, I don't get on social media and start just saying rude things about the other side, whatever. But it seems like a lot of these people in this little place of like creative power that are writing the books that we're reading just think it's okay to just bash people and say disgusting things and like it be okay when we shouldn't give in to that. You know what I mean?
I mean, we all know the archetype Chuck Wendig.
Yeah. Oh yes.
That's the most extreme I've seen that. Daniel Jose Older, as I recall, called people a bunch of suckers who didn't like Last Shot.
So stupid.
It's like,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I talked about that book earlier tonight about that. I did not like that author. He's a weirdo.
He did part of the audiobook.
Yeah, and he was horrible too. He was so bad.
I appreciated, because I'm used to, like, when I listen to Stephen King audiobooks, Stephen King reads out loud his author notes. Mm. So I'm used to unorthodox sounding stuff, which, by the way, X-Files Fight to the Future, don't listen to the audiobook.
No? Is it pretty bad?
It's missing the last 5 pages of the audiobook.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think I texted you asking if you could take pictures.
Oh, okay. No, I don't remember
Pages,
that.
I
But
can read them. It's
yeah, okay.
only a 4-hour audiobook.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk more about that one in the tail end of paper movies. But
But the guy, you can't tell who's talking when.
really,
Thankfully, I've seen the movie a few times, so I remember it pretty well.
okay. See, I haven't watched the movie,
Yeah,
but
well, the movie takes place. I think you're going to be a little confused. It takes place between seasons 5 and 6.
okay.
I was a little shocked when you said, "Let's pick Fight the Future."
Well, I just saw it. It was like, oh, it's a movie novelization. I remember I watched season 1 of X-Files, and I thought, oh, this should actually kind of be fun to dive into.
You see, you haven't gone to an X-Files got serious and good.
Okay.
That happens in season 2.
All right.
They up the budget a bit.
Okay. So it's a little less cheesy.
I mean,
I just thought it was funny. Like whenever I watched it, I was like, oh, this is so cheesy. It's like that. Like it's rainy, stormy outside. I want to watch something, and you put on X-Files, and usually it's like kind of overcast skies in the show, and you're like, oh, it's like fitting. It's like fun and cozy.
In Canada.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's like it's like that '90s feel to it as well. So
yeah, it's
and like
of the '90s.
You have trained FBI agents running around with their finger on the trigger, and you're like, oh, okay. They clearly didn't have somebody on set that knows what they're talking about.
Oh yeah, no. It's like when anytime an author, you can tell when an author doesn't know their gun terminology or is British when they call a magazine a clip.
Hmm.
Oh,
yeah, I know, yeah. Is that big
mind?
Sorry. Okay, wife had to step in and ruin my video. Just kidding.
Throw on.
She won't want to be on camera. You want to be on camera?
Who's looking?
There's people watching. You want to be on camera? Yeah.
Jeremy's here, and that's what
He doesn't
matters.
want to be on video.
Next time.
I can zoom the camera around real quick. Oh, she's running down the stairs. We had some people asking some stuff in the comments over here. I see Mad Machad says, only read Earth Hive when I was in 6th grade. I remember liking it.
Yeah, it's a solid read. It's one
That's
of my
an Alien or a Predator novel?
That's Alien. That's the first Alien novel. It's written by Steve Perry.
Okay.
You'd like it. It has a bunch of sex pervert stuff in it.
I would like it.
We all know you're a huge fan of Shadows of the Empire.
Just because I got 3 kids doesn't mean I'm a... Okay. Rob D, I still have my Barnes & Noble editions of Sherlock Holmes and Count of Monte Cristo that I haven't read. I hope I enjoy them. I've got 97% of my books have not been read.
I can't, actually, I could make an argument that 75% of mine have been read. I don't own as many books as I used to, but
Yeah.
I own a solid amount.
Yeah. So you get them all right there too. I've got stuff like in my closet. I've got books in my nightstand. I've got books in the bottom drawer of my dresser. I've got some in my attic. It's ridiculous. I got some in my drawer right here that I can't get to right now. It's ridiculous.
I mean, some people sleep next to their wives. I sleep next to my book collection. That says a lot about me.
Yeah, well, do what you can. We've got Mad Chad saying, do I have to play the games to read these Warcraft books? Well, from what I've gathered, the older Warcraft books, no, you don't. When it gets into more, I don't know what the titles of them are. I'll have to do a video on that because I don't play the game anymore. I used to back in my college days. And when I played,
you WoW fan, right?
Do what?
You were WoW, right?
Yeah, World of Warcraft.
Okay, not Warcraft, the
original
like the strategy game.
Right. No, I never played that. I remember my roommates did back before I actually got involved in playing World of Warcraft. But they never made the jump to World of Warcraft though. Which the game was a lot of
very different games.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of I think all the same characters though, because when I'm reading about some of the older I think they do have Warcraft, and then like Rise of the Horde. I don't know if it says World of Warcraft, but it all like is the same.
Fair
at least
enough.
for me.
It's not like how there's Warhammer and then there's Warhammer 40K.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the earlier Warcraft books, I've read I've read 3 of the World of Warcraft books, like the earlier ones, and I love them. I read this Before the Storm, which was a newer one, not too long ago. I reviewed that one, and then you got this one, which takes place after those events. But it feels like you don't have to know the game to understand these books. Like, because whenever I played, I didn't pay attention to the story. I was just like, I'm just running around doing my quest. I've got to get my gold. I got to get a flying lion. You know, that sort of play. I wish I would have paid attention more to the story. Obviously, clearly now I can't. I don't have the time to play the game. I don't have the. Like, you got kids. You know how it works. I have one night a week that I could get on the internet.
I mean, I hang out with you enough to understand how it works, but
Yeah.
I don't have Spawn myself that I know of.
Right. So, I mean, I think if you just watched the videos that Blizzard puts out on their channel, you'd be able to follow along just fine. Because they put out like cinematic videos of story points on their YouTube channel that can lead up to certain things that happen in books. So, yeah, I don't think I'd recommend that you pick up Rise of the Horde. Even, hey, you know what? If it's easier to find Rise of the Horde, you can pick that up. Or if you can find the Dorotan, the prequel novel to the Warcraft novelization, pick up that Dorotan prequel novel. It blew my mind. Still, that might be on one of my top 10 favorite books that I've read, to be honest with you. It was incredible. So,
Rob D, you have no idea. When I was part of the YCC, the YouTube comic community, when I had the unpopular opinion of hating Dan Slott, they hated me. It's so good that people finally realize all the crap that Spider-Man went through because Dan Slott was such a bad writer. And I'm glad that he just blocks people now. You know who else blocks people? William Shatner. By the hundreds.
That's funny. I think sometimes I might be blocked by Del Rey. I don't know, because like sometimes, like I think I told you earlier, Jeremy, and I know I said it earlier in the stream. It seems like they just like kind of shut me out for some reason. It's like I just gave you like the highest praise for a book, and nobody acknowledges it.
I mean, it's all right. Tashi Station blocked me because they claimed that I threatened to stab one of their members at Dragon Con. Such a stupid thing.
I think I remember hearing that.
Oh, yeah. Because Amelia made a stabbing meme joke and then had to explain the joke because I don't follow the memes. And then they're like, well, she said it, but she's a woman, so we can't be mad at her. We'll pick the white man out of the 3 of them. People out there and attack him. And then I asked, literally they were like talking a bunch of trash about me on Twitter and like the Legends podcast. And then I like tweeted him like, hey, how you doing? Can you give me a time code when this happened? I want to listen to it. And then they were like talking to me and they're like, oh, that's Jeremy. And then instant block. But
well,
I don't think you're a Doctor Who fan, are you?
No, I just saw that Andreas Torres says, have you guys ever considered getting into Doctor Who? It's a ton of original novels, audios, and spin-offs of their own original novels and audios. No, I know that I got confused whenever I saw like one of the not a logo, but like a silhouette of some device. And I was like, that's not it was like at some convention. I was like, look at that rip-off Star Wars lightsaber shirt. And so I was like, no, that's like the Doctor
it's a sonic screwdriver, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, okay.
I've seen some of the show. I watched a lot of it. My sister's really into Doctor Who, or was for a while. She's more into Harry Potter again.
Hmm.
She's like into Harry Potter the way we're into Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
But she's like, how there's certain things that Star Wars fans hate, like the new canon. She hates the Cursed Child Broadway play. She says it's terrible fanfic.
Is that so? That's the blasphemy of the Harry Potter world.
Depends. I think it's got them divided. I think the first blasphemy was hiring David Yost to be a director for 5 through 8 and the Fantastic Beasts movies. He's just a terrible director. Shaky cam, and terrible CGI.
See, we need to get Adam's opinion on that one because I know he's a big Harry Potter fan.
Is he or is his wife?
I don't know. It might be his wife. Small Time says that Twitter is a sarcastic echo chamber, which I agree because I post stuff on Twitter all the time, and you know how much interaction I get? 0.
You don't attack the right people. That's your
That's
issue.
what I've noticed. It's like because I'm not being hate. Oh, it's like, oh, look, he posted something nice. Let's ignore him. I should probably call somebody out. Like, hey, yo.
I mean, Criterion just ignored me when I told them they needed to make that. I was mad that they hadn't put Zardoz in the Criterion collection. They just straight ignored me.
Wow, I have that novelization.
I know you do, and I'm very jealous.
Hey, it's still on eBay. They have it on eBay pretty cheap.
It's so expensive. No, it's like $20. I'm not paying that for
Get you
Zardoz.
some groceries, like some real groceries, like instead of eating out. Then you can afford to do it.
No, have you seen my diet? It's
Eh,
rice and salad.
that's
and
true.
fruits.
That's true.
If I'm lucky, a catfish that stinks up my house for 2 days.
Oh, man. Obsidian 53B, recommend best video game tie-in novels. I had to check out on that one because
Republic
No idea.
Commando Hard Contact. It really isn't a video game tie-in. But,
I mean, I thought it would be cool. Like, I have no-
Star Wars Dark Forces. That's
Star Wars
a
Dark
pretty
Forces?
good tie-in. Yeah.
Isn't what's that one with the horrible cover?
Battleground Dantooine?
Yeah, is that a video game tie-in? Or do they just take a snip from a video game?
That's the Galaxy's tie-in.
Okay.
I've never read it, but yeah, that's a video game tie-in. People like Force Unleashed. I think they're lying.
Well, I had the where'd they go? I don't know what happened to them. I had the 1 and 2 trade paperbacks of those. Fun game when I played it, but yeah, I remember the second one was just like felt like 30 minutes and you were done. You're like,
yeah,
wait, what
you
happened?
don't die once on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
Even if you achievement hunt, you don't really die.
I think that game might have been created for the Nintendo Wii.
Oh, they
Because-
both. Well, no, those were separate teams. There were different companies that did the different consoles.
Okay.
It's all weird.
Because that's where I played the I think the second one I played on the Nintendo Wii because you had the remote and you use that as your lightsaber, which was like oh, this is awesome.
Doesn't actually work that well
But, yeah, no.
because it was before Motion Plus.
We've got Rob D, the Gears of War novels by Karen Travis.
Speaking of someone who fights the fans,
Oh yeah.
she's the OG of fighting the fans. If you didn't agree with her on the forums, she would call you a Talifan. Yeah, she's the OG Chuck Wendig. Only at least she can kind of write a book. She can write well. It's just some of her stories are just dumb. Let's have a clone and a Jedi have a baby together. I think not.
Gosh, we got Mad Machat saying Cursed Child is awful. That's a Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, that's the play.
Okay. Rob D, no Harry Potter fan, at least that I know of, like the Cursed Child.
Yeah, there's probably some shill that J.K. Rowling has paid with some of her Cursed Child money. I just imagine she got 2 giant bags of money for someone else to write and put the Harry Potter name on it. She's like George Lucas before George Lucas was like George Lucas.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like instant with the Harry Potter movies and their deviations from her books.
Yeah.
You never really heard her complain whatsoever. Because we all know that if Tolkien had been alive for Peter Jackson's movies, he would have never allowed it. I bet you every time he released one of those Hobbit movies, he rolled in his grave.
Yeah, The Hobbit was a pretty bad one. I wasn't happy with those.
Yeah.
I don't know that I ever bought the third movie. Can't remember. I mean, the soundtrack. I wanted all the soundtracks, but I only have the first one. Never got the
That's
second
not
and third.
The second one only has one good track on it. It's when they go to Rivertown. That's a solid, interesting track. It's Howard Shore really kind of phones it in with the second and third Hobbit movies. Not as bad as John Williams with the sequel trilogy,
Oh yeah.
where John Williams just reused things he had already written and didn't really deviate.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit. He's in his 90s, I think.
Well, you know, I only listened to that soundtrack one time through after I bought it.
Oh, you bought it?
Mm-hmm. Which, you know, like I said before, I'm a completionist. I have to have soundtracks. Like same with like the Marvel stuff. I'm starting to want to collect that music too.
Why? It's the most bland music ever.
Well, some of it is actually good. The stuff
Thor Ragnarok's the only one worth listening to.
that's the first one I ever bought. I really enjoyed that one. I have the Doctor Strange. It's okay. Well, a month or two ago, iTunes did big sale on the Marvel soundtracks. $4.99 a soundtrack. And you know, I had like purchased 2 songs from like the or 1 song from the Avengers soundtrack, so it was like an even bigger discount. It was like $3.99 or $2.99. Like, okay, well, I'm just gonna purchase the rest of the album. Done.
I can only think of 3 Marvel scores that I can even remember. Only one of them is a Marvel Studios film. That's Thor Ragnarok. The Thomas Jane Punisher movie has a good score. It has a decent soundtrack too if you're into like that post grunge, post new metal sound of I can't remember who's all on that. And what was the third that came to mind? Oh, X-Men First Class.
Never saw it.
That's not that good of a movie. It's the last good X-Men movie. I'll say that. It's not Days of Future Past and Apocalypse, which are ruined because of a certain actress not actually wanting to act, who's considered one of the greatest actresses of her generation. I think of her as a Kristen Stewart 2.0. Charisma of a brick wall.
Yeah. Well, you know, people just do what they got to do, I guess.
Some people just suck ass at acting, and they're like, "Ooh, best actor."
Drop D, no, Mad Machad. Only Marvel soundtrack I have is from Into the Spider-Verse. But isn't that just like a soundtrack? Like it's not like an original score, right?
I don't know. I never saw it.
That's what I don't like.
I don't like the look of the animation, and sometimes
that's the reason why I haven't saw it either.
Oh, thank God! I'm not alone in that.
Yeah.
People are like, "Do Jojo Blues cover?" I'm like, when I said I didn't like the look of Clone Wars, I was correct.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jeremy, I think we need to log off of here and prep up for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
We've got 14 minutes now, guys, before we start the stream on Paper Movies.
You hosting?
Yeah, since I have it all open and password all in there, I could just
toggle. Sweet.
Yeah.
Because I'm not ready for this. I'm not even on the computer I want to be on for this.
Well, hey, I provided the link over there in the chat as well. Hopefully that works for the channel. You need to go over to Paper Movies, hit that subscribe button, spread the word, share it on social media so we can get some folks over there that like to talk about movie books, novelizations they call them. Sometimes they turn out way better than the film. Sometimes they're a great substitute for the film. What do you think, Jeremy? Paper Movies.
The Predator.
What's that?
Sometimes they're the Predator.
Yeah, sometimes they're the Predator, which is still, though, as bad as it is, better than the movie. So that's the one thing that I'm learning is like they always say like, oh, well, the book is better when a movie's based off of a book. Sometimes the book based off the movie is better still. So, and those are the things we like to talk about over there on the paper movies, which we're still pretty new. We talk about, we pick a book, we read it, we discuss it, and probably going to be posting up some new type content on that channel eventually once we get the flow going, and it'll be a lot of fun. So we don't talk about Star Wars over there. So make sure you don't bring up Star Wars stuff.
Well, I'll fight you.
Yeah, Jeremy will come to your house. He'll throw water in your face and then punch you.
You'll think it's the NSA, but it's just me.
Yeah. But you guys, hey guys, couple 10 minutes. Go to the bathroom, get yourself some snacks, and then go over and check us out. Well, as we talk about Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah. Have a quickie with your partner. Better be a quickie.
Yeah, like that. Sure. Anyway, guys, hope to see you guys over there, and watch us talk about this book. Matt Wilkins, Jeremy, when's your next Star Wars book review?
You're about to click off?
Yeah, I guess.